I said get it rolling. Hello and welcome to the Inside Star Citizen Review. You are watching with the fam. If you're on YouTube right now, don't forget to smash those likes and help us grow the DG360 army. We are giving away an 890 jump this month. If you are a patron or a YouTube member, by the way, and you are entered every single month automatically, that is the amazingness of being part of DG360. If you are not here, High Professional is correct. Shame on you for not showing up. Thank you, Anarchy. Ow. But at least they're watching on YouTube. At least they're watching on YouTube. And if you are, shame on you for not showing up live. Thank you. Roha just did. He's like, oh shit, I'm making it live. But you should at very least, if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button and break the fucking algorithm so that we can just grow massively already. This just had to have happened like 2 years ago already. I don't even understand that we're at this level even. Like we should be like 3-4 times ahead of where we're at. That's okay. Do your very best, smash the like button and share. Now, let's watch. A lot of people very excited about this episode. This makes me excited. Thursday is my favorite day. And when I feel the buzz from the fam right now, and I have been in Discord all day. I've been seeing all the good comments in Discord. That really gets me. I like that. I like that feeling. I dig that. Because I always know if it's going to be a good one when I feel this type of energize. So let's do it. First level energize. Let's go.
Alpha 315 brings with it some of the biggest and most life-altering changes to hit the persistent universe since 3.0, as the core gameplay pillar introduces 2 new aspects essential to realizing the vision Chris Roberts once referred to as death of a spaceman. Now, for this reason, this episode focuses entirely...
When have you ever known me to stay silent, Profession? Now, you're not here because I'm silent. I'm stopping the show just from what you said. You understand? People say, oh, DG's not reading the comments. Oh, bullshit. I do read the comments. You're here because I'm not silent since 3.0.
on the addition of injury and healing, which will change the way that players live and die in the persistent universe from Alpha 315 and beyond.
There's supposed to be consequence to death. Do I want to just bleed out and die? There's supposed to be a fear of death itself. It's not just a case of how I'm going to be.
Oh, yes. This is exactly what I talked about when we watched the Inside Star Citizen show on the hospitals, and I was saying, well, I would definitely like to see some of the gameplay associated with what it is in combat, being wounded, seeing any type of medical gameplay in here. This is exactly what I was talking. I feel like they watch. I feel like Jared's watching. I know he does from time to time. I feel like he heard what I said. And I feel like we might see some of the gameplay that I was begging for on that episode.
Healing myself, it's a case of who's going to come and save me if I go down.
315 is going to bring the next major step in realizing the vision that Chris Roberts had. And that is, you are this lone explorer that is venturing forth into the unknown. The new mechanics and systems that we're introducing in 315 around healing and death of a spaceman introduces the risk part of that exploration.
Yes, which also goes right into last week's Inside Star Citizen Review. Now, if you watched the comments here and you're seeing Star Tafari asking what's on the player's right arm, it's part of an old armor, but it did click and it made me think about last week's episode where we talked about cybernetics. And we talked about having mechanical parts on our limbs, basically like mechanical arms, mechanical legs. And when you're out exploring and you get hurt, whether it be from a large fall and you break something that's, and you shatter something and you actually, you fuck something up or it gets shot off you, you will then have a cybernetic replacement for that. That's fantastic. That in itself is going to be huge.
Pretty much 99% of the times where you would have died in Star Citizen before, now you go into a down state. And a down state is a unconscious, incapacitated state that allows other players to come and rescue you.
Yes.
But when you do come back, you may come back with a very severe injury.
Yes.
So the injuries that you can come back with, you can range all the way from a traumatic head injury, a chest, severe chest injury or chest wound. You've got broken arms.
Wow, this is going to be interesting how they're going to design this. This is going to be interesting if you think about this downed state that they're talking about, what the time frame is going to be. Like, how long are you in the down state for? Like that's going to be something interesting before you can be rescued or before you die. That's something very interesting. What did they do say, or did they already say it? If they haven't already said it, I'm going to keep going.
And probably the most severe is broken legs.
Each injury.
Dutch is saying pause it during, and Vince are both saying pause during the down state. Okay, hold on one second. Pausing during the down state. Let me know. Am I going back too far?
And
hold on a second.
A down state is a unconscious, incapacitated state that allows other players to come in.
What does that say? What is that saying in the bottom left? Here, let me disappear myself. Let me disappear myself. What is that saying? 1 second forward. Okay.
Rescue you.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Survival estimate time. So you are in a down state for a certain amount of time. That is interesting.
But when you do come back,
I like that. I like that. But like, I wonder what dictates the amount of time.
You may come back with
the severity of the wound.
Injury. So the injuries that you can come back with, you can range all the way from a traumatic head injury,
Use skin
chest,
for armor.
Severe chest injury or chest wound. You've got broken arms, and probably the most severe is broken legs.
Each injury per body part comes with different symptoms, and as you accrue more severe injuries, your symptoms increase, the severity of the symptoms increase. With the head, it's mostly visual effects, so as you take injuries, your eyes sort of get detached from your retinas and whatnot, and what you can see starts to become impeded.
And we actually call this blood vision, and it's actually not what you'd expect in terms of blood speckling on. It's actually the delamination or the separation of your cornea on your eye.
Yes. Cornea separation. Now they're speaking my language. Blood. Yes.
Also, forced reactions, that comes into play. So the more severe your head injury, the more you react to those. So to start off with, it's the same as usual, standard functionality. But when you have the most severe injury, a strong breeze is going to knock you over. And then also we have the chest.
Vince is saying way back where I had paused it, it also said to hold down M trigger for a revival mission. So what it's probably doing is this. This is how I'm taking it. For the impatient that are like, fuck this, I do not want to wait. They're giving you the option to just die off and wake up at a hospital, or basically in a new character and creating a new character. Essentially, that's what I'm thinking by Vincent's comment. Or if you want to keep the same character, push M, and then basically you would be out there for everybody to rescue, or anybody to rescue, especially if you're squatted up. Obviously, they're going to be able to see you. But if you're all out on your own, then people will be able to accept the mission to go rescue. And then there will be a certain amount of time. So if you are a type of person that is an RP person, or somebody that is very attached to the character for whatever reason, and you want to see how long you can live with one character, which I am that type of dude. I'm not a heavy RPer, but I love the idea. I love this concept of living the longest possible life I can by the choices that I make. So that is interesting to me. Dutch says it basically activates a service beacon. That's interesting as well. So yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. That is great information. Thank you guys for making me take the time to stop and explain that to the audience that is watching. Thank you so much. You guys are great.
Yes, so moving on to that, you have reduced stamina, so you can't run as fast.
What's up, sir?
Or for as long, rather.
The main progression of the chest is that you start to suffer in terms of your overall general health. And also at the top end as well, you're in...
Nice. I'm seeing, yes. And look at this. And it's not just for RP reasons. It's not just for the character yourself, but it's also for your assets. Quite literally for your gear, as if Wolf is saying, like, do you really want to die? Because if you die, you're probably going to lose all that sweet loot, all that sweet gear. So there are other reasons for you to say, hey, somebody fucking save me, which creates a demand, which feeds into an economy, right? That is the demand, right? That also feeds into cause and effect, consequences, right? That feeds into like decision making being very important in this game, which we always wanted from the very beginning. Okay, but also on the economic side, you're creating a demand for a medical industry, which is fucking fantastic. This is really well done. This is actually a really well done piece of game design right here. It's probably going to need polished a few times. There's probably going to be a lot of hiccups and bugs, but the very basics of this, in terms of game development and the design that they're employing here for this particular game loop, if you will, I like it. Very, very cool. Very, very, very cool.
Kind of like a weakened state. You trigger a hurt locomotion, so you can't really, you're not as flexible and mobile as you previously were.
Right, Puma.
And where the arms starts to go is that you start to have increased weapon sway. You can't carry as heavy objects. And on the most severe arm injuries, you actually have broken arms.
That prevents you from climbing ladders. It prevents you from carrying heavy objects. So you might bend over, pick up a 200 box and immediately drop it.
And when we
this is not a video game for children. Like, Fortnite people, stay out. like you won't like this. It's going to take too much time for you. You don't have the patience for this type of game, you know? I love it. I am actually loving this. In essence, they're creating filters from like the types of gamers I hate the worst, like the types of gamers that have absolutely no patience and don't like realism in games and don't like survival based mechanics. They're balancing it just right. They're balancing it just right.
We have broken arms. Essentially, we allow the player to do what we call one-shot actions. So, for example, pull the trigger on their gun.
So you can fire your weapon, but after that, you're going to be forced to drop into a low carry. And then moving on to legs. Obviously, if you've got a broken leg, that doesn't really help you traversal. And when you get to that severe state, we put you into prone lock,
I like the animations.
You have to crawl everywhere.
It's going to be a severe state, and it's not going to be something that you're going to want to happen at the bottom of a cave.
Oh, you're in trouble if you're doing that.
So if you do receive your injury out and about, what can you do? How can you help yourself? Obviously, you can have medical pens. So medical pens are what you're using right now. They heal your health, and they still remain to heal your health.
Are there going to be new items for... Now, see, this would be interesting if there's going to be more than pens. Okay. I'm already excited. Please don't let me down. Please let there be new items. See, this is exactly what I've been talking about. This is the same thing I said about cybernetics last week, that there will continue to be complexity with every profession. Like with mining, we've seen a few stages of mining. We continue to see the complexity with the mining bits. We continue to see the new resources out. Now we see refining. We're continuing to seeing complexity in the mining profession. Like, this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see more complexity with every single profession. I want to see it with hacking. I want to see it in the medical field. I want to see, since there are no books that you can buy to skill up, which I'm so happy for. We talked about this on last week's show. I won't get too far into it. I want the complexity of the profession to continue to expand, so that when you're hiring somebody to come on your ship, and generally you don't want an NPC, you're going to want a player, But okay, there will be some NPCs that can do some basic functions, and you can pay them, okay, a stipend to be part of your crew. That we theory crafted a hell of a long time ago, and we were right. We said that back in 2016. We were theory crafting that, and everybody told us we were fucking crazy. That there's not going to be any NPC crew that you can hire, and we fucking proved everybody wrong on that shit. And now, what I would really like to see is this level of complexity grow on each different profession, and then what you're almost going to have to do is you're going to have to hire real people if you want the job done right, which really focuses on the fact of this immersion quality of an MMO, which this is, and danger, because danger is beautiful. Danger really makes an MMO take off and keeps bringing you back. It's like a drug. Player retention is going to be through the roof. The more complexity to the profession through learning, through game development, through learning just in the mechanics, the more people are going to keep coming back.
They won't heal it as much as previously, where it was just a one-shot, heal all, reset back to full health, you're pristine. They just bring back your health back to where it can be, depending on what injury you've received. The other thing that you can do, depending on the injury, is you can take one of 5 drugs that we're introducing into the patch, and they treat different symptoms. So some might treat muscle fatigue.
Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. We have the med pen that they're now calling, what are they calling that? Hemosal. They've got the Opic pen. Interesting. A detox pen. Oh, they got a detox pen. It's great. Oh, wow. This is really cool.
Some might treat pain relief. Some might treat other things like headaches and so on and so forth.
Their function is to mask symptoms, and those...
That will continue to grow. This will continue to grow. I can almost guarantee it. This is just 1.0. This is just being a medic 1.0. Wait till you see this develop. Wait till you see every facet and profession start to develop the complexity. That is really why people are pledging the amount that they are towards Star Citizen. This is why people don't understand why the game is so successful, because we've been around long enough to see just the idea of it. We're starting to see the development, and we've seen next stages of evolution of the game development that gives us more complexity. This is just the very baby steps. So the fact that they're keeping true to the narrative of Death of a Spaceman, that cybernetics episode got me so pumped up. Now I'm seeing this, I'm feeling pretty good.
Their function is to mask symptoms.
We need that value-added gameplay.
Symptoms are masked for a specific duration. And the duration is based on the dosage that you apply, and also the method of applying them. So we have the med pens, we've got the med gun, the multi-tool healing attachment, and then we've also got the med beds. The efficacy of all of those increase. Sort of, we go up in efficacy from pen to sort of gadget to med bed. When you give yourself any sort of drug, so that's healing or masking symptoms, you're increasing your blood drug level. It's also alcohol.
There's our friend Damon. Damon,
well.
What are you doing, Damon?
And as your blood drug level increases, you'll start to reach thresholds where you start to see visual effects, so blurry vision, muffled audio, that kind of thing. And then as you progress through that further, you'll start to enter drunk locomotion mode. And that's, as you might imagine, staggering around, looking rather drunk. If you reach 100% on your BDL bar, that results in you entering an overdose state. Now, this is similar to an incapacitated state in that you can't move, you're in ragdoll, you're seeing the screen fade in and out. But the main difference is that your blood drug level does decay. So as long as you don't suffer damage enough to send you into an incapacitated state and then eventually death.
Okay, I'm going to make a suggestion right now, because there's no real reason to do the drugs in Star Citizen, right? I mean, like, to do it to look around, to laugh at that. Like, any game that always has, like, drugs or booze in it, and you're drinking and you're getting stoned or high in the game, GTA, these types of games, and you're like, whoa, 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 and you see, it gets all fuzzy and shit. Like, I would suggest there be a reason that people would want to take it for. not just for the woo woo, not just for the like, oh yeah, trippy, man. Like I'm not quite sure exactly how you could do it. Maybe a drug that makes you like feel like you're playing a video game or escaping reality, and then you're literally playing like a game inside of a game while you're high on the drug, you know, to where like people would be like, oh yeah, this is cool. Every time I take this drug, like I'm actually playing another game inside the game, and I actually like the game that it is I'm playing. And then they get addicted to that. You know, right? Like there has to be something, right? Like some type of bonuses, maybe. Like maybe it makes you stronger than you normally would, but it fucks you up in the long term and you have a lower life expectancy. Yeah, like something that really people, there has to be an actual reason, like a demand for the drugs. So there has to be a cool element of gameplay designed into taking those drugs so that it's not just like, hey, did you take that widow? Oh, yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, I'm walking around. Oh, I'm walking around. It's actually got to be better than that. It's got to be addictive. Like they've got to figure a way out to make the drugs in the game addictive, to give it like some type of realism. Maybe when you put on your VR helmet, you actually do get stoned. No.
You will come out of the overdose state automatically.
So this is what leads to the next stage of relief. How do I cure the symptoms or injuries that I've received? You can only cure those injuries based on going to a medical facility or a medical bed. And depending on the severity of that injury will dictate which facility you need to go to.
All right.
It's not a one bed fixes all. Not all beds are made equal. We have the Cutlass, which is a tier 3 facility, and that can remove minor injuries, so that the least worst of the injuries.
That's a good idea, Abyss.
You've then got the Carrick and 890, they're tier 2. They can relieve minor and moderate injuries.
Right. For those major injuries, you need a hell of a lot more. You need those med beds. You need like a hospital. You need a ship that has hospital facilities in them. This is great.
We'll also have rest stops. They'll have clinics within them, and they'll also be able to, they're tier 2 facilities, so they'll be able to heal moderate and minor injuries. And then the creme de la creme, which is tier 1, you'll find those in hospitals, and those can remove any injuries.
In a perfect world, and if they could be policed correctly, Vox, I would say that I would be in favor for some type of like tax, like a death tax, right? But I agree with you in the fact that there's really no way they're going to be able to police it. They don't have the staff, and they don't have anything in the code right now that would be able for them to dictate like, how did this person die? You know? I think that would take way too much time away from them, and I don't think that would be feasible right now. So at this particular point in time, Vox, I do agree with you. Because Vox said, also in a game like this, the penalty for death should be at worst a temporary stat debuff, not a credit loss and reputation reset. Between latency and griefing and not knowing how to Tokyo drift in an asteroid field, permadeath, even with limited extra lives, may be too punishing. So here's my stance on that. Like, I'm very hardcore with my games. Generally speaking, I think that like your decisions that you make in the game are important, and the harsher the consequences, the more you're going to think about the actions that you take in the game, which feeds into an economy. Those decisions will feed into the economy somehow. If you know that the decisions that you make, like you go into a situation this dangerous, might kill you, and you know that if you die, oh shit, I'm going to get some type of death tax. Oh shit. So there has to be some type of harsher consequences to make those decisions more real and the consequences more real. However, I think that would be so very difficult to police something like that because of the exact reasons that you state. So Vox, like because of that right now, I do agree with you at the current state of development, dude. So yes. Don't give Chris any ideas, David.
Downstate, we talked injuries, and we talked treatment. But what happens when the worst occurs and you die? So previously, or currently, you respawn in a hab. That's out the window now. Now you respawn in a medbed. There's numerous locations that have medbeds, so that's hospitals, that's clinics.
Wow.
Carrick, 890. Those are the ships you can respawn in, at least. The Cutlass you can't. Your default respawn location is actually set as your home location.
So when you log in now on 315, you'll be asked to choose your home residence.
Oh.
This home residence will become your home regeneration point. And this is what the main area that you have will be dictated to that hospital. If
this is an evolution of design, man. This is an evolution of complexity and character development. Now, can we please do something with the hair and the facial hair? Can we please do something about the hair for the character creation?
Landing zone has a hospital associated with it, then that hospital will become your main regeneration point. If you choose a landing zone that doesn't have a hospital associated with it right now for 315, but will do in the future, it will associate the nearest hospital to that landing zone. And you will be given that information before you log in, and you have to confirm that. If you die and your regeneration point is not available, so for example, you set your regeneration point inside your Carrack and you're flying your Carrack and your Carrack blows up, you will then regenerate at your home resident. So that is the original hospital location that you spawned at. When you are incapacitated, before you fully die and regenerate, you will have a significant period of time to wait it out for people to be able to come and rescue you. Now, clearly, if you've taken a severe amount of damage, that time is going to be less. And if you've taken a moderate amount of damage, that time is going to be greater. But we're talking, you know, in the half an hour, 2-hour range where, you know, there should be plenty of time for somebody to come and rescue you. Clearly, if somebody's there still damaging you while you're in the downstate, they can essentially coup de grace you, they can execute you, and you will be forced to regenerate. But we are giving the player enough, enough opportunity to try and wait it out.
That is really gonna fucking piss a lot of people off, man. Like, could you imagine waiting a half an hour to an hour waiting for somebody to save you? But like, here's the thing. I'm hardcore. I kind of like that. Yeah, like, right, Ryu. Like, to me personally, dude, that's gonna be a game changer in the fact that, like, that is hardcore, man. That's the kind of hardcore gameplay I like. People might think I'm crazy for that, but dude, you are gonna have to really make sure about your decisions. Here's the decisions that come into play. Here's what that does. If your downtime is a half an hour to an hour when you are hurt, right? Here's what that's going to do. A, what crew am I flying with? Do they fucking know what they're doing? That's the first thing. B, the people that I'm flying with, okay, what ship am I flying in with them? And where am I going? And what is the mission? And who am I going up against? And like, see, do you understand? Like, all of a sudden, there are real consequences. Like, that. This is what I'm trying to talk about in this game, where I believe this is the actual draw. Like, I actually believe there are a lot of people that are old school citizens that came to this game and pledged for these reasons. I can guarantee you there is a large percentage of people like that. Now, you're going to have a loud crowd that's gonna be like, I can't believe this shit. You want me to lay there? What's up, Sergeant? Welcome to the fam, dude. Welcome to the fam. But this is the very reason why some people might not even fight. Some people, some people might just go the NPC route. And even if you're fighting in a PvE, oh God, and just imagine the people who don't like to PvP have to deal with this. Because think about it. They take a mission that's a little complex and they're like, I'm going to make so many credits, but they do it solo. Then they get their asses fucking blown up, but they're alive and they're in a downstate. They're going to cry so hard. They're going to cry. But they have no reason to cry because now they took on an NPC mission. they took on a mission. They're not fighting people. They're actually dealing with NPCs, and they're in a down state for half an hour to an hour. These people, you know, you're going to get people crying for that. You know they're going to be crying for that. That's great. That's fucking hilarious. To me, I like the hardcore based tactics and game designs are putting into this because it makes you think about decisions. There's going to be some people that because of this are going to stay grounded. There's going to be some people that are going to be like, fuck it, I'll just be a farmer. Oh, fuck it, I'll just stay on this planet pretty much for most of my life and fly to and fro with the Genesis Starliner. You know what I mean? There's going to be people that are just going to stick around and do industrial-based work on a planet. And some people are going to say, why are you doing this? And they're like, well, I just don't want to have to deal with being in a downstate, and I like to do this shit anyway. This is what I like to do. These are the types of gameplay elements in design that that give you like a level of realism to a game that I don't think's ever happened before. Of course, this could go horribly wrong. This could be a deterrent. And this could actually like be something that decreases the growth, but I personally don't think so. I applaud the hardcore stance here. This is a very hardcore stance.
If players don't want to wait it out, and that is their choice, then they can choose to regenerate immediately. Right. And the one thing that we do want to call,
and if you don't want to, okay, and this is very good too. And so for people, this is good. This is good because we had talked about this at the beginning of the show. If you don't want to be in that down state forever, right? You just regenerate right away. Now, if that's the case, I feel like there should be some type of additional penalties. I think that there should be some type of additional penalties if you're not going to wait around. That's just me. That's just me.
All out is if you do regenerate, then you will leave behind all of your items and gear that's on you right now, but we can talk about that next week. So we still have a significant amount of actor status related gameplay that is going to come later. But
I love this
is
man.
Just to let people know that
I love this.
We're going to put this out, understand, measure, get feedback, and then shape it into something that is what everybody wants, that what we want it to be, that is this true vision of Star Citizen. So this is just the next step, but it is a big one.
Yeah, it is.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that
we learned that you motherfuckers are metal over there at COD Imperium Games, and we love you for it. That is the most metal fucking thing I have ever heard in my life. You guys should be proud of yourself. You guys should be proud of yourself. You didn't go the way of the pussy. You didn't like subscribe to the standard fucking, millennial bullshit that is out in video games right now. That's like point and click, die and rebirth right away, shoot, bang, bang, blow up, boom, do it again. Do it 50 fucking times in a day. You did not subscribe to that, Cloud Imperium. You stayed harsh as fuck. You stayed metal. And I respect that. I respect that. That is great.
The daily cycle of death and respawn is changing to healing and injury. The new treatment options mean new gameplay opportunities for field medics and the like.
Right?
And that when you do die, the impact will be felt greater than before because of inventory changes we'll be discussing next week.
Okay.
Now,
don't go late now. Like on this next episode, I love this. I love this Jared right here. Hey, man. But hold on, Jared, you're distracting me right there with that. Now, next week this is a quintessential episode next week, and you guys better be here next week. They better not lighten up. I want it to stay. I want this to stay hardcore. I want this next week's episode. This is great because I am really anticipating. I am salivating for next week's episode now. So I want to make sure that they follow through with that hardcore level of game design that they have in terms of penalties and what happens if you do opt to just like regenerate right away and just skip the down phase. But like, this is great. This is great.
Showdown is happening right now, where you can vote in the top 16 and determine who the winner will be. And the Digital CitizenCon video contest is almost over, so don't miss your last chance to get your submissions in.
Good episode.
For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
That is wonderful. Listen to me. We're going to have an after party. If you're here live on stream, congratulations. We're going to have some fun. We're going to watch a few things, laugh, have a good time. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the end of it for you. Make sure you make it to the next live show. We had 62 people here tonight. Nice little showing tonight. for tonight's Inside Star Citizen review. Very cool. For those of you watching, just so you understand, we have an $8.90 jump giveaway. All you have to be is a patron or a YouTube member. You are entered every single month automatically. Do not forget that. I don't think any other channel is giving away such an amazing prize for the month. Thanks to SPC for donating that to the DG360 community. The DG360 army continues to get better. The momentum is very real. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to smash that like button, break that algorithm, get us growing, get us to the point we deserve to be over 3 years ago, and let's do this. Now, for those of you here that are live, we're going to do our after party. So, Pepe, get it to the after party, everybody on YouTube. Peace out. Have a good night. See you on the next vid or stream. And party up is what we're going to do right now.